Good. I got a frog in my throat. Good morning. I got this for Christmas from Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. I need to just sit here a minute. I'm taking my glasses off, which means I'm becoming blind and cannot read the comments. I just need to sit here a minute. Uh, you know, I am a firm believer in God. And I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason. But I'm a firm believer in every situation you're supposed to be learning something. I do. I believe that. And oftentimes I find myself as I'm breaking things down or situations that I see or that happen to me or happen to other people, I'm constantly saying, there's a lesson in this. What am I supposed to be learning? Whether it's good, sometimes, things are good. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be learning? Because when things are good, you're happy, right? But there's still things that you should be learning. When things happen that are bad or depressing or disappointment or expectations or whatever, there's something that you're supposed to be learning. And I firmly believe that part of being the best version of yourself is figuring out what you're supposed to be learning. With that being said, I have a story. I have a story. This is a liquid. Wait, I forgot what. Hang on. Tinted moisturizer. It came from my dermatologist, and it has sunscreen in it, which my other makeup has sunscreen in it too. But this is a little bit of a lighter foundation. It's not really. It's not foundation. It's a liquid moisturizer. And this time of year, I'm very pale because it's winter. And so I decided to change and go with something lighter because it's like my foundation is too dark in the winter. Okay, this is what happened. Last night, let me back up. Yesterday, I had to go to Larry's bank. I'm dealing with Medicaid. If you've dealt with Medicaid, you get me. But I'm having to do all this, like stopping automatic transfers from his checking account. I'm having to shut everything kind of down. And so yesterday, I got up and had to deal with ice because we were in freezing temperature. I had to deal with all that. I came in, I had to go to Larry's bank, handle all of that. And what happened was a couple of years, I think it was last year, wasn't a couple of out. Larry is a huge sports fan, and we had to have every sports channel known to man. Okay. And it is expensive. But Shane and I were like, well, Larry's worked his whole life. If he wants to spend money on sports channels, I mean, let him. So we did. And he spent over $200 a month, let's just put it that way, on sports channels. And so I think it was last year. Sometimes Alabama is not on like cable. I hope I'm saying it right. It was like one time, I don't know if it was this year or last year, Alabama was on, you could only see it on YouTube. So in order for him to see the channel, I had to pay for YouTube TV. So I said, y'all, I realized that I should know everything about YouTube because I'm a YouTuber. I don't know crap. So anyway, I had to pay for the sports package. Well, I couldn't figure out because I had to stop it. I couldn't figure out how I did it. I'm like, how did I subscribe to YouTube TV? Because it's not on my stuff. And so I had to go to the bank yesterday and like stop the withdrawal. So I did that. And then I had a meeting with the nursing home to handle and write checks and all this stuff. So it was a lot of stress. Well, when I went in to the nursing home, there was a nurse there that could help me unsubscribe to YouTube TV. And I was like, praise God, she knows how to do it because I don't know how to do it. So she got my phone and was trying to work with it. Well, when I got home, to make a long story short, when I got home, my YouTube was not on my phone. And I was like, oh my God, what'd she do to my YouTube channel? Where's it at? It would not pull up. So to make a long story short, I just, went to Google and put in YouTube and put in Sneed's Farmhouse. And I was like, let me watch one of my videos to see if it's like, am I still out there? Because I was confused. So I was watching my latest video of me with the chickens, when it first started. I love doing videos with just my animals, honestly. So anyway, I'm out there and I'm watching my own video, right? And I'm like, oh, that's good. I didn't know, because I forget what I put in the video. So I'm out there watching and the commercials hit. Well, of course I'm going to watch the commercials because I'm like, oh, I get paid extra if you watch the commercials. So I sat there and was watching the commercials so I could get a little extra income. I don't know. Well, all of a sudden, okay, this commercial came on, but it was almost like a movie. And it was called The Royal Mistake. I don't know if it came on your commercials when you watched my video, okay? But it was like a movie. Well, I was watching so I get paid, and all of a sudden, it was like this documentary, and it was like a overlay of a voice talking, telling you what was happening in the movie. It was like, and I was like, is this commercial or is this a dang movie? Like, what has happened? Because I don't often I don't have time to watch people's YouTube. Every now and then I watch Tiffany from Our Small Farmhouse. Is that it? I watch her. That is it. I don't watch nobody. I'm too busy. I got Larry. I got a grandbaby. I've got a farm. And so I'm like, does this happen all the time? And so I'm watching this documentary. Y'all, it lasted for 30 minutes. And I was like, this commercial lasted 30 minutes on my channel? I mean, I know everybody skips it, but I got so involved in this documentary. I couldn't skip because I was like, it was almost, the name of it was The Royal Mistake. I'm only going to summarize short, okay? But I sat there for 30 minutes watching this commercial, and what the commercial was it was trying to get you to download this app where you can watch movies. Okay. So that's what the commercial was. But I was so intrigued. So it was about, and I find this ironic because Monday I was talking to you guys about expectations. And I was talking to you about expectations of a marriage. And I told you that a lot of women, as young kids, we watched Cinderella. And we think marriage is a Cinderella life. And we have these expectations of like growing up, of wearing the beautiful dress and naming our kids in high school. I talked about that. Well, this documentary was almost like Cinderella. And what happened, I'm just going to short summarize it. But what happened was this young girl, her mom gave her this real expensive necklace that was a heart. And it almost reminded me of the Titanic. But anyway, she said, one day, you're going to know the reason why I gave you this. So she has kept it with her. Well, long story short, I hope I have this right. Somebody put something toxic in her mom's drink, I think, and her mom died when she was a little girl. And her dad put her in an orphanage. Well, when she went into this orphanage, she became a slave like Cinderella. And in the documentary, she's on the floor scrubbing the floors, getting like slave like she was punished. Okay. To make a long story short, she went through, excuse my French, but hell her whole life. Well, what happened was she was a Cinderella and she had these ugly, wicked steps or sisters because she ended up getting adopted, okay, with this family. And the sisters hated her, okay? So her sister put something in her drink one night. It was her 18th birthday, and they were having a big birthday party for her. And her sister put something in her drink, ecstasy or something, and it caused her to be kind of wild acting. Well, she ended up sleeping with this man, okay? And he was gorgeous. And when she woke up in the hotel or wherever they were, he was gone. Just gone. Her Prince Charming was gone, and she lost her virginity that night. To make a long story short, she didn't know the man's name. She didn't know nothing, okay? She ended up pregnant. Long story short, years, I think it was 5 years went on, and she meets that man. And he is the Prince of, I think, Ireland. I don't know, Prince of somewhere. Mexico? No, I don't know. He ends up being this prince, and he tries to get the son and her to move in with him. Okay, it was a Cinderella story. And I sat there for 30 minutes going, I couldn't stop watching it. And then it didn't tell the end of the story. It was the commercial and wanted you to download the app to finish watching the story. And I'm like, I sat here for 30 minutes just like this, glued. Okay. I don't know if y'all have seen that commercial or whatever, but it was very interesting. And I thought in my head, wow, how interesting is that? That I'm watching this Cinderella when I was just talking about it. Well, more to the story. This morning, I was on Facebook, and I am not going to mention names, but there is how do I put this without saying it? There was this man on Facebook that they're going through a divorce, and he was blasting his ex-wife on social media. And once again, it's so funny because oftentimes as a creator, I get very frustrated because if I do a video and say the judge will decide, I had court at 8 a.m., I have 9,400 people watch. And I'm like, who are these 9,400 people that just showed up because I went to court? And then the next videos are me sitting around feeding my animals and only 1,000 people watch. And I'm like, people love gushy gossip. And and in my head, I thought, that is so sad. that my farm has to get shut down or someone has to call the police on me to show up in my driveway for me to get a lot of views. But just me having no drama in my life out there feeding the chickens, no one cares. And I was like, I feel so sad about being a creator. Like, why do people just like drama? Like, why can't people run after peace? Why do people run after chaos? Gushy gossip. Like, that's what I've been doing. And often I even talked to Chris about this. I said, Chris, is it not crazy that I have almost 10,000 views because all my animals have been murdered by my neighbor's dog? And I have been in hell for the past 2 years fighting for my animals and fighting for my farm. And all these people that just show up out of the blue and see Sneed's farmhouse because there's gushy gossip. But I found myself doing the same thing this morning. I don't sit and watch this channel, and then all of a sudden this gushy gossip shows up, and I'm like, I don't even follow this page, y'all. But all of a sudden Facebook or YouTube shows you this gushy gossip video, and you're like, what's this all about? And I feel like that is what happened with the video with me going to court. All of a sudden, YouTube goes, oh, gushy gossip. We'll show this to all kinds of people because they'll watch the commercials because it pays YouTube and the YouTube makes more money. And I'm like, here I am guilty of the same exact thing. So I'm sitting here this morning and I'm watching this gushy gossip. And I'm watching this person just bash his ex-wife and expose all his marriage gossip on social media. And I could not stop watching it. It was so gushy gossip. I couldn't stop watching. So I sat there this morning and watched this chaos. And I was like, this is awful. This is absolutely awful. So then I watched the whole thing. I don't even watch TV, but I couldn't stop watching it. I couldn't stop watching that commercial on my own channel, and it was a bunch of gushy gossip. And then this morning, the same thing happened. It was a bunch of gushy gossip about this divorce. And all of a sudden, after I've watched all that gushy gossip, I'm flipping. And then all of a sudden, there's the woman. And I was like, oh, I heard what he said. Let's go see what she says. And then I sat there and I was just like glued to this gushy gossip. And I got off and I felt so confused. And when I watched the commercial of Cinderella, I was so intrigued about the gushy gossip. But then when I finished watching it, I was like, and I don't know the ending unless I download the app. I sat there and I was like, I feel worn out because it was just like constant crap. And when I watched this couple bashing each other, I got off there and I'm like, I feel confused. I feel slap worn out. And I sat here in total silence. And I was like, what was I supposed to learn from that? Like, why did God make me watch that? or did God? Was it maybe it was the devil that made me watch it? Like what intrigued me so much to watch this gossip and this horror story? Like I did it 3 times in less than 12 hours. Because last night, late at night, I'm watching the Cinderella thing. And then this morning, I'm watching this other chaos. And I was like, God, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And within seconds, the first thing that came to my mind was about me being a content creator. Because I have felt left behind. Because I'm going to tell you, when you start getting paid on social media, it feels good. And then when you start following these big channels that you look up to, you're like, I wished I could be like them. They got to quit their jobs and they've got a big house and they've got, I don't know, I'm just going 70 acres, and they could afford to build a big barn for their animals, and their animals have pasture land and grass, and I'm over here in mud. And like, I just wished I could be them. That's what you do. You compare yourself. And y'all know, if you've been following me for a while, I have compared myself to other creators. And God humbled me and said, Judy, I'm your creator. You're to follow me. You're not to worship other creators. You're to follow the creator that created you. And God humbled me. And I stopped comparing myself to other creators. He humbled me. Well, after watching this, I was like, what would happen to me if I was Cinderella and I met this Prince Charming and had this perfect life and lived in a castle? You know, and all my sisters hated me because I was beautiful. And all of a sudden, I'm married to this Prince of Ireland or whatever. Like, what would happen to me? And then, as I sat and watched this couple fight, this is the first thing that came to my mind. I feel so sad. I feel so sad because, like, what happened was, and I don't know their personal life. I'm just narrating, okay? I don't know if what I'm saying is the truth. I just know what I feel. But in my brain, I was like, they went from having nothing to being rich quickly. And like Cinderella went from being this slave scrubbing the floors to being a princess and living in a mansion. And this couple went from having this little bitty house, just your average cars, to being rich overnight, being a creator and being able to buy nice cars. And then all of a sudden, money controlled them and ruined their marriage. And I was sitting there going, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Being the best version of yourself is constantly saying, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Whether it's a good situation or a bad situation. And I sat there and I was like, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And all I kept thinking was, what if overnight my YouTube channel just blew up? And then the next thing you know, I have 55,000 views on every one of my videos. And I don't know how much money you make if you have 55,000 views, because I've never been there. But I know how much money I made on the 10,000. And I was like, and I know how much money if you make 1,000 views. And in my head, I thought, people love gossip and gushy stuff. And like, what if I was the creator that constantly made gushy stuff where people watched? And all of a sudden I became a millionaire. What would happen to my marriage? What would happen to me? Every person that is a content creator is running after things they don't understand, because you compare yourself to these big creators. And where I sit here and go, I wished I had 70 acres. I wished I had a barn that looked like that. I wished I had people that could work for me and me go on vacation. Like, it must be nice. I sit here 7 days a week slaving in the ice. Like, what would it be to have a farm help? What would it be like to have people that you can hire to help you? Dear Jesus, what would it be like? I'm just trying to make ends meet. And I said to myself, what if God blessed you and you were like these other people that I watched this morning and became rich and had tons of money? What would happen to my marriage? And I sat there, and when it comes to money, Shane and I are on opposite ends of the world. Many marriages are like that. There's a marriage that one may be giving and one is like stingy as crap. I'm giving. I would give, if I came rich, there's no telling what I would do. I'd probably be trying to cure world hunger, which I've talked about before. I'm a very giving person. But I think and Shane is very stingy. Shane ain't giving nobody crap. He earned it. That's his money. Where I would give constantly. So what would happen to our marriage if because I'm the one that does social media. It's me. I edit, I film. Shane don't know how to do any of that. I mean, I make him look like superhero. When I played the Superman song, I make him look like a rock. I told him that. I'm like, dude, I make you look like a rock star. If they only knew the truth, I kid with them. But what would happen if I became rich and all of a sudden my YouTube channel just blew up and overnight I had 55,000 views on every single one of my videos? What would happen to Shane? Would we get in a fight? Judy, I'm the one that told you to get chickens. I'm the one that paid for that barn. I'm the one that paid for those cows. That money is half mine. But I did all the work. What would happen? Or what would happen if he started saying, that money is not going into your account. That's half mine. We are married. That money is going into our account. What would happen to my marriage? Would we make it? And I sat here and I thought, because I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to be learning from what I watched in the past 12 hours. Have you ever wondered if you got rich, what would happen to your marriage? Like, what would your husband do or what would your wife do? Because I know in my heart that money is the root of all evil. And I've personally, as I've been a creator and I'm around other people that have made it big in the creator world, I've watched them change. I've watched people be so humble to having a big head. I, as a matter of fact, I have gone from when people were a nobody, they talked to me. They were so sweet because we were on the same level. We had the same amount of views. We were on the same level. And I've watched them become successful, and then I'm a peon. They don't even talk to me. I'm a nobody. But I've watched that in my life not being a creator. As a matter of fact, my very best friend growing up she got a job being in a medical sales rep. And she became very well off quickly. And all of a sudden, I was a peon because I'm this poor girl. Okay. I've watched it happen in life. I've watched family members go from not having anything to having a lot and getting a big house. And then all of a sudden, you're like, they're a snot head. Like, they got a big head. But what would happen to me? I've never been there, so I don't really know the answer to that. But would I become a snothead? Would I look down upon people that are creators that are lower than me? Would I reach my arm down and pick them up and help them? Or would I go, I ain't got time for that? Like, what would I do? Would my marriage get ruined? If I became rich, would Shane start going, oh no, that's ours. That ain't yours. Because right now we're kind of separated when it comes to money and stuff. If I became wealthy, would he start sticking his hand in my stuff and start telling me what I can and can't do with my money that I've built up? What would happen? Would he look at me and say, hey, I know you've got all this money in the bank. I want us to buy this. And I say, I ain't spending my money. What would happen? And I thought, man, money is the root of all evil. It tears up friendships. It tears up marriages. It makes people have a big head. It makes people think they are holier than thou. They're running out buying expensive cars and houses and boots and all this stuff. Like, wow, what would I do? Would I be that person that runs out and buys $500 pair of farm boots? Or would I buy me a diamond necklace? Like, what would I do? And I would love to sit here and tell you what I would do. But truly, I don't know because I've never walked in those shoes. I truly have, if I became wealthy overnight, or next year, let's just say this time next year, my views were 10,000 views. Every video, I was going, I don't know, I created some chaos for people to watch my channel because they'll only watch if there's gushy gossip. Now, listen, if you move, and all of a sudden start over and start redecorating your house, people are like, what's going on? Where are they moving? Oh my God. Did you see they're moving? It's like gushy gossip, and people will watch your channel. And so if I created this Cinderella, if I opened up me and Shane's life completely, and y'all found out that I was really the slave, that I had to get on my hands and knees and scrub the floor and had no money, and Shane was this rich prince, if I opened up my life and shared that, people would watch my channel. But if I just sit out there and feed my chickens, I ain't going nowhere. Nobody wants to see Judy just sit around and feed her dadgum chickens. People want gushy gossip. So if me and Shane got a divorce, and I came on here on social media and said, if I just labeled the video, I'm getting a divorce. Oh, why are they getting a divorce? You know what? We should practice it. I should just label and say, I'm getting a divorce, and watch how many people watch that. And then my video pops up and go, y'all train wrecks. Y'all just want some gushy gossip. Y'all don't want to see me feed my chickens. You want to know this gushy gossip of why I'm getting a divorce. I swear, that's what I do not like about being a content creator. I'm so I don't like, but I do the same thing. I sit here and watch gushy gossip all morning and couldn't get my eyes off of it. We're train wrecks, y'all. God bless. Total train wreck. I mean, if you saw let's say your favorite creator, and they're together, and all of a sudden they said, accident happened and such lost their right leg. Everybody in God's country on YouTube would go, oh, she lost her leg. Oh my gosh. What happened? Why are we like that? Why don't we run after the peaceful videos? Why don't we run after 200 animals in this video? And you just watched this little red-headed girl in Coleman, Alabama, walk around and train her animals and feed them. And there was peace in the video. And I will tell you that if I watched that video and I got finished watching it and I didn't feel anxiety or I didn't feel stressed, what would it feel like? But instead, I watched the gushy gossip, and I get off there and I got tension in my shoulders. I feel sick in my stomach. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'd rather watch that than something peaceful. Why are we a train wreck? And I think about my own life, and as I sat and watched all this Cinderella life and all of this gushy gossip, I'm like, my heart just breaks. I'm like, what has happened? You know, I will tell you, y'all are probably gonna laugh at it, but when Miranda Lambert and what's his name? What's wrong with my brain? Menopause brain. He's dating Gwen Stefani, but I think they're getting a divorce. What's his name? The man that used to be married to uh the man that used to be married to Blake Shelton, thank you. When Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert got a divorce, and then I found out that Blake was dating Gwen Stefani, I was so mad at them. I don't know them in person. Like, they don't come over and eat dinner with me, but I was mad. I was so heartbroken when they got a divorce. I mean, it killed me. And I felt so sorry for Miranda Lambert having to sit there and watch Blake Shelton with Gwen Stefani, and Gwen was like skinny and blonde hair and cute as a button and can sing, and I like Miranda's gained all this weight, and she, oh, God love her. I mean, my heart freaking broke, and I watched the whole thing because I couldn't stand it. Divorce is so sad to me, especially like when money is the root of all evil. Money caused the marriage to be worse instead of better. It caused, control issues, and it caused this is mine and not working together, and like what am I supposed to be learning? Why is God humbling me? Why am I watching this trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be learning from this? Have you ever thought about if your life changed? Like, if you had some drastic change in your marriage or your family, what would happen? What would happen? If I started getting a lot of views on my channel and started becoming successful, would Shane change? Would I be this is mine. I created it. Like, what would I do? What would I be like? Would it ruin our marriage? And then my views would get even higher because Shane and I would be going through a divorce. What would happen? I have no idea, because I've never been in that place. And I sit here and I'm like, so what are my goals with social media? What are my goals? And suddenly I sat here and I was thinking about, like, why did I start YouTube? I've shared this before. I started social media, like, I started Sneed's Farmhouse on Facebook to make my family laugh at me because I was running around catching roosters. And I knew that they would be like in the floor laughing at me being this country girl going around chasing roosters in chicken crap. They were dying laughing at me. And I literally did it for my Aunt Faye, because I knew when she saw me in overalls on the ground in a chicken coop going around chasing my chickens, that she would be laughing, because that's not who I was. And I began to change into this little, I went from cityfied slicker to countryfied. Like, I knew she would laugh at me. I didn't know you could make money on Facebook, and most people don't. And then all of a sudden, I start making money. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, you can make money on social media? And then I thought I was rich for a minute because a couple of things went viral, and buddy, I was making the big bucks, and I was like, look at me. Look at me go. That's what I did. And then all of a sudden, I get the phone call. Hey, Jason and Brooke want to meet you. Who's Jason and Brooke? I don't know who they are. I don't watch YouTube. I don't know. They're from Alabama. Oh, well, what do they want to meet me for? Well, they want you to introduce them to Kalmbach. Why? Like, who are these people? And then they were like, you need to start YouTube. They're coming to film your farm. Well, what does that mean? Judy, this is a big deal. Oh, well, what am I supposed to do? You're going to start a YouTube channel. You're going to start doing videos. Dude, I don't know how to edit no video. Like, what am I doing? Start doing videos. Here is the app. Start doing videos. And I was thrown into it because I was become rich. I was thrown into it. And one day I am sitting at Panera Bread with another creator, and she's like, this is what you're doing. I'm going to set you up. I'm going to make your intro. This is what you're doing. You're going to meet Jason and Brooke overnight. You're going to have a ton of new subscribers. Your life is going to be blessed beyond belief. What? So all I have to do is meet these people, introduce them to Kalmbach. They're going to get one of my goats, and then this is what's going to happen to me. Yes. Wow. This is crazy. And Shane is sitting on the sidelines going, you're about to get played. You're about to get played. What? No, you don't understand. You're not on social media. You don't understand. You're about to get played, Judy. No, you don't understand. You're a welder. You don't live in the content creator world. You're a welder. Go stay in your lane and let me do what I'm supposed to do. And then I go if you go back and watch my first videos, you're probably in the floor laughing because they're the most ridiculous because I don't know what I'm doing. My thumbnails were absolutely hilarious because I didn't know what I was doing. I was thrown into it. And then overnight, Jason and Brooke come and they were like, yes, you can make a lot of money. We've quit our jobs. We bought this big farm. We're building this big thing. Overnight, you're going to make a lot of money. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm just sucked into this. And then they come and film my farm. And overnight, I went from having, I don't remember, less than 1,000 subscribers to 12,000 subscribers overnight. And I'm like, now what do I do? Wait. And I'm looking at Shane going, told you. Told you. So my intentions of YouTube were not in the right place. My heart was not humbled. I thought I was going to be like everybody else. I thought I was going to be the new coghill. That's what I thought. Because that's what I was told. And then all of a sudden, after I have these 12,000 subscribers, I start getting ridiculed. And they were like, your music's too loud. I'm not watching you. You're nothing like Jason and Brooke. And I was like, this sucks. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't like this. People are mean. But for some reason, I found myself enjoying sharing my farm. And I found myself enjoying editing. I love to edit videos. I love it. I love to make nothing become something. I love to watch the end product of my videos. I love trying to figure out how to get better at filmmaking. I love sharing my animals with people. I love my life. It's like a tour. It's like having a tour without people being here. And then I met some of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. So I stuck with it because, honestly, because of Diane, that her anniversary date is coming up, 1 year that she's passed away. But I stuck with it because Diane kept going, "You are helping me." I'm like, "Oh, great. I'm helping one person." I'm like, "Diane, I'm putting a lot of effort in this just for you." But I kept doing it. And oftentimes you get sideways because you compare yourself. I'll never be them. I'll never be Lester and Jamie. I'll never be Jason and Brooke. Look at Chestnut Hills. They're growing like crazy. Look at our brown farmhouse. We all used to be equal, and they've all surpassed me, and I'm left behind. And then I watch these videos of all these successful people, and I'm like, what would happen to me? Would I quit talking to people? What would happen to me if I became successful on social media? What would I do? Would I still be humble? Or would me and Shane get in a fight and our we would go our separate ways? Like, what would happen? And suddenly I'm like, do I want things that I don't want? I don't want to get a divorce. I don't want me and Shane to go separate. Well, I'm too old for a divorce. I'm like, I don't want that life. Like, I would want Shane and I to be just like we are now. Would I run out and go buy a bunch of expensive stuff because I was rich? Or what would I be like? I'm thankful that I'm a believer. And I'm thankful that God continues to humble this crazy brain of mine. And I'm thankful that my heart and my mind is in the right place. But oftentimes it's not. I get stuck on a number. I get stuck on comparing myself to friends or other creators. I get stuck. And I guarantee you, you may be the same way. Maybe your friends have more money than you and they can buy their grandkids a bunch of nice presents and you can't. And you're like, I wish I could buy my grandkids a new swing set like Margaret did. My best friend, she's got plenty. Her husband died and left her plenty of money, and I'm over here just living paycheck to paycheck. I wish I could go over here and do what Margaret does, but instead, my husband left me with nothing but a bunch of bills, and I'm just trying to make ends meet. It'd be nice to be rich, you know? Do you compare yourself to other people that have more than you? Are you like me? So, like, if you don't have money and money causes you depression, because it does me, it's hard. I'm going to tell you, I'll just give you an example. It's time to do hoofs. It's so expensive. So you have this expensive feed bill every month, your hay bill and your feed bill, and you're just trying to make ends meet. Then all of a sudden, it's time to get your hoofs done. Well, Leroy's $100. Boyfriend's $100. Shishi's $100. Freddie's $100. The goats are $20 a piece. I have 5 goats. So that's another $100. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's $500. Then the pig's tusks have to be trimmed. That's $50 a piece. So there's another $100. So that's $700 that I'm fixing to have to pay just to do hoofs. It's like, will somebody watch my videos? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how do they do it? How the crap did they have all these animals? Like, how? I don't know. Like, how do they do it? I don't understand. I don't get it. It's like, oh my gosh. And then it brings me. I'm running behind. I'm long-winded today. I'm sorry, but this is what, when I start feeling overwhelmed, going, oh my God, I'm fixing to have to pay $800 for hoofs. Please, dear Jesus, nobody gets sick this month, because I cannot afford a vet bill. I've got the feed bill and the hay bill, and now I got your hoof. So if any of y'all get sick, you're getting in the principal's office. But what comes to my mind is this summer reading program, this program that I'm putting together. I am teaching the kids how my farm got started and what happens when you have a farm. And one of the songs, it's my favorite part of the whole performance, is I sing, isn't that a scary thought? People say I'm the lucky one and life's just begun. I think I'm gonna have a son. You know that song? And it goes, and even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. You know that song? Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Every time it's time for hoofs or someone gets sick and has to go to the vet, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeling overwhelmed and nobody's watching my videos and everybody else is going higher than me. And I'm like, even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, I bring a tear of joy to my eyes. God, and tell me everything's gonna be all right. That's why I go out there and I'm singing it. I'm sitting on the ground and I'm holding my hands up, and you can imagine all the animals around me, and I'm sitting here going, even though we ain't got money. And I'm like, oh God, please don't take this farm away from me. And that the kids are going to learn how hard it is to run a farm and how expensive it is to run a farm. And you fall in love with your animals and you're scared crapless. You're going to have to get rid of your animals because you're trying to make ends meet. And the kids are going to learn about the business part of having a farm, and you will do whatever it takes to pay for your animals. Dude, if I have to do videos, if I have to go live, if I have to go to a school or to a farm or do a tour or sell a stuffed animal or whatever it takes, ask for donations. You're going to do whatever it takes because you're so in love with your animals and you don't want to lose your animals. It's like having a kid. You're like, I got to pay for daycare and diapers and formula. Oh my gosh, the doctor's bills. And I will work 2 jobs to make ends meet because this is my child. And my child is not going without. I will eat ramen noodles before I let my children go without food. I will be on 6th Avenue selling my to make ends meet to pay for my kids' education. They learn that. But they're going to learn in a funny This part of the song is very and my voice sounds a little better than that, but it's they're going to learn that what all I have to do to make ends meet. I work I don't go on vacation. I can't afford someone to come out here and help me. I have to do it myself. I have to go out in the freezing rain. I had the stomach virus. I'm vomiting and diarrheaing at the same time trying to let animals out. I don't have a break. I can't go hunting for 3 months. I have to stay home because I have a farm. And they're going to learn that. I don't work 9 to 5 like Dolly Parton says. I work 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I changed the song in the middle of the performance. And I'm like, Dolly's got it all wrong, because when you're a farmer, you do not work 9 to 5. You work more like 5 to 9. So we're going to start this song over and scream to Dolly that we work 5 to 9. That's part of my performance. And I think when you sit here and get yourself sideways about financial things, how do you be happy and content and figure it out? Do you know how, if you're my age or, older, you know how it always works out? God always provides. We worry, but at the end of the day, it always works out. So why do we compare ourselves to other people? Why do we sit here and watch all this gushy gossip? Why do we run after chaos instead of peace? What causes your brain to do that? You'll sit and like you're skipping through all commercials, watching videos. I ain't watching commercials. And then all of a sudden this gushy gossip comes on and you sit there and watch the dadgum commercial for 30 minutes. What causes that? Have you ever asked yourself, what am I like? Have you ever found yourself watching some gushy gossip and then go, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Why did I just sit here for 30 minutes and watch this commercial? Why am I running after the gushy gossip on social media? Like, why did I've never watched this farm channel a day in my life. And all of a sudden, I'm watching this video about this girl that's gone to court over her farm. Where'd she come from? Why am I watching this channel? But I ain't watching none of her other crap. What makes you do that? I do it. I do the same thing. So I'm not getting on to anybody. I did the same thing in the past 24 hours. I watched all the gushy gossip. I'm hurrying. I hope that you've learned something about what I've said today. What I feel like I'm going to get my stitches out today. Y'all be praying for me in my booty. I had cancer on my butt. And today's the day I go get stitches out. I'm scared to death. I'm so scared. So I got to go do farm animals and then go get stitches out of my butt. Ask yourself today, what am I supposed to be learning by what Judy just said? What am I supposed to be learning by the words that Judy just spoke? Is she speaking to me? Do I wish I was like other people financially? Why am I in the shape that I'm in? What do I need to change? What am I supposed to learn from this? Those things that you need to ask yourself. How do I get myself out of this situation? Or how do I humble myself if I'm in a good situation? How do I not think I'm better than other people because I'm more blessed than other people? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. Am I doing what glorifies God? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my money? Am I Do I think I'm better than other people because I'm more blessed than them? I look like a train wreck today. Don't even care. It's too cold to care. I was too more into this topic than I am on putting on my getting myself together. I need to do something to this nappy head of mine. You have choices in life. Every day you have a choice. You can sit it out and get robbed from your joy. What is keeping you from being the best version of yourself? Do you worry about money? Do you worry about, like, what do you worry about? Are you trying to be somebody you're not? What is it? What keeps you what makes you compare yourself to other people, and what keeps you from being the best version of yourself? Those things are causing you to sit it out. Those are the things that you need to focus on and change in your life. If you're depressed about money, what do you need to change to make it better? Maybe you have to go work a second job. Maybe you're like me and have to work 14 hours a day. What do you have to do to change that behavior that's causing you to sit it out? But you have the choice to dance. Every situation that you see, you hear, whatever, asking yourself, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Why is God humbling me? What is God trying to show me? I feel in my heart that God is trying to show me that money is the root of all evil. It causes divorce. It causes people to being like controlling. It causes nothing. Now, I'm not saying money is not good, because it is. You have to have money to survive. But what happens with money? Especially when I'm not saying that becoming wealthy quickly is not earned. But there's times when you're blessed without putting effort in. In other words, your parents pass away and leave you wealth. You're born in wealth. Those things, okay? Those things, what makes you sit it out, and what makes you dance? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And understand what God says about money. Because money it causes us to worry. It causes us to get a big head. It causes divorce. It causes chaos. It causes so much. Ask yourself, in order to dance today, ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And what is causing me to sit it out? Because you have the power to change yourself, and you have the power to make you get on your dancing shoes and dance. And today, I hope you don't sit it out. I hope you dance. I love you guys. New Year's coming. Stay safe. Be careful shooting fireworks. It causes animal stress. I hate fireworks. My animals get so stressed out. I say don't shoot fireworks. That's me, because you scare my animals to death. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you for giving back to my animals. Love you. Bye.